Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is a good old clean with me. I am trying to get my house reset before we have company coming over the next day, and we are just starting off by opening up all of the windows. I feel like it makes such a big difference to get natural light into the house and into the space that you're cleaning. I like to do this daily, but especially when you're cleaning, I feel like it just helps brighten the space and helps your mood drastically when you have natural light. I like to have my whole house tidied when people are coming over, just because you never know if, someone pops upstairs, or my daughter's so excited about her new big girl bed, so I anticipate her wanting to show people. So I didn't do too much, nothing too crazy. Really, it was just putting things back where they belong and then vacuuming just to make sure we have a fresh floor. I'm trying not to stress myself out too much about this, and just kind of I keep telling myself that, two toddlers live here. It's nearly impossible to have your entire house clean. And so I'm just trying to be happy with what I do get done today, because anything is better than nothing. You are watching the first time I made my daughter's bed today. She does still take a nap, so obviously she gets in bed for that. But before her nap, I think we made it about 4 times. She's so into wanting to do things herself, which I love because she wants to be independent. However, I do not like when it seems like she undoes a lot of the things I do, and that can get frustrating, honestly, sometimes. But I do love seeing her little mind work. I love that she wants to be like me and make her own bed, and I do try to include the kids in everything I do. You saw my son Jax in the last clip where he was trying to vacuum with me, and I'll be honest, it does take so much longer to do things when they're awake because they want to help. But typically, if I let, especially Jax, he's 15 months old, if I let him kind of look at the vacuum and try and push it around, he'll lose interest and find something different. So just kind of letting him explore and have his moment helps to get back on track. But I would not be able to get any of this done if I did not work while they were awake. If you've watched any of my other videos, I believe strongly, a big pusher of, if you can do it while your kiddos are awake, do it while they're awake, because you need to also make sure you take time to fill your cup. So I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that it's perfect and not frustrating, but it does help to do it while they're awake so that you can make sure you have time for yourself. I did not have the heart to tell Ellie to move while I was vacuuming, so I just vacuumed around her and called it a day. My kiddos right now are terrorizing my husband as he's going through all of the items in our office, and I'm trying to quickly get this bed made, because once they realize what I'm doing, they will be all over it and want to get on the bed. So you'll see them make an appearance here shortly. I do know there's a huge lump in the middle of my bed, by the way. I haven't figured out a good way to make it like look flat. It just always curls up, but my husband likes to sleep with a textured blanket on him and then a weighted blanket, so it's obviously bulky and takes up space. So I was taking it off the bed and putting it back on at night, and I was like, nope, done with that. That's just too much work. So now I just deal with the lines in the middle of the bed and call it a day. But there's Jax. He is just getting so big, and he's really like getting such a fun personality. It's so awesome to see him grow and interact with his sister and all of us. It's so much fun. But the days of him being my little baby are gone, and we definitely have the urge and itch to have another little one someday. So God willing, that happens. Now Josie is so into helping me make the bed, and I love every minute of it. She's so excited to do things that she thinks a big girl would do, and it is just the cutest. Would it be a cleaning video if there was no laundry to do? I'm not sure. At least for me, it wouldn't be. So I have about 3 loads that I end up folding. I spare you from the last 2 loads and only give you a little bit of clips from the first loads, and then you'll see me get some of that folded laundry put away, which is just like the most satisfying feeling to see the laundry disappear from my bed, because normally I fold it on top of my bed, and to get that space clear again is the greatest feeling in the world. And let's go put away some laundry. If you're curious about how I organize my closet, I have videos of that all on my channel, so you can go and find those. But I do like to organize it by category. So, like short sleeve shirts, long sleeves, sets, sweatshirts, that kind of deal. And then in each category, I like to color code it. It just makes it easier for me to know like where to put something back. I also feel like I wear more of my items just because I see them better. I don't just like go back to the same items because that's what I know, and I don't want to take the time like sifting through my clothes to find certain things. And so I do feel like it helps me wear more of my wardrobe, and it just is aesthetically pleasing, and that's something that makes me happy. I am doing a nap time reset in this playroom. It's something I've started doing, and it's drastically helped my mental state. I have such a hard time relaxing if I know there's stuff all over my house, and so I do try and keep it tidy. Also, if I tidy midday, then the end of the day tidy is not nearly as horrible. Plus, I never know, if my kids, if we're going to go play outside or if we're going to go do something later in the day. Sometimes we will go to a park or something. And so having that cleaned is great because sometimes things don't get taken back out, and then I won't have to do it at night. I think doing like a nap time, like a 10 minutes of tidying is so worth it, especially now that my kids are overlapping with their naps and I'm getting about an hour of a break, which is just like unheard of. If you watch my other videos, my kids were like doing such a good job of one would be asleep and then the other one would wake up and be awake. And so that was really challenging, not having any breaks. So now that they're overlapping with their naps, now that my son is down to one nap, it just feels like I can take over the world. So now this is after bedtime and my kiddos are asleep for the night, and I'm just trying to get my kitchen reset for the next morning. We have people coming over for brunch around 10:30, and I've already prepped the food that I can prep, and I just want to make sure that I've got everything under control and everything is clean. So in the morning, I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I can just take it easy, take a breath, and just get everything that I need to done without feeling like I'm in a rush. So a few hosting tips if you are hosting anything this holiday season, even if it's just like you have a couple girlfriends coming over. Something that I like to do is to set out dishes that I plan on using. So you see me right here with a couple of dishes. I've got this 3-circle, I don't know what you would call it, like bowls right there, and that's for toppings for a yogurt bar. And then this plate I have in my hand, I plan on using that for bagels. And it's just nice to have those things out and ready if you can, so that you're not scrambling to put things together. So one of those was a Nora Fleming, and if you've never heard of those, it's literally just like dishes with a hole in it, and then you have these little pegs that you can put in there that are all sorts of different shapes and colors and designs and themed for holidays. And so I had one that was a Christmas tree, and then another one was kind of like a knockoff brand, and it still works wonderful and I love it. And those had Santa boots in it. So this brunch that we're hosting is a Thanksgiving brunch, but it's been rescheduled because of snow we actually had. And so we were supposed to have this past weekend, which was Thanksgiving weekend, but we ended up rescheduling it so that everyone could stay safe on the roads and not really worry about the snow coming down. And I don't have it in me to try and revert back to Thanksgiving kind of themes. I even went back to Walmart and returned napkins and paper plates that I had, and I'm just full on Christmas mode. And so we can celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday and be thankful for what we have while also looking at some Christmas trees. My second tip is to write down the start times and the bake times of items that you prep on top of tinfoil. So I have 2 sets of sandwiches and a casserole that I prepped the night before, and on top of it I just wrote what the item in the dish was, and then I wrote down the baking temperature and time that it would take to bake the item, and then also what time I wanted to make sure I get this in the oven in relation to when people are coming over. I hosted a Thanksgiving brunch last year, and I thought this was amazing because everything turned out and came out at the same time, and it was warm, and it was just so helpful to have the thought taken out of it the morning of. I wasn't having to do any sort of math to know when things would come out and make sure that things are coming out at the same time and when people are getting here. Also, everything that I'm baking in my oven, I only have one oven. I don't have 2 doors, so it's one heat setting, and so I made sure everything I was baking was being cooked at the same setting. But then I also have something in my crock pot. I'm doing a yogurt bar and some bagels, and so the variety of items was helpful too, knowing that not everything needed to be cooked and prepped in the oven. It was really important to me to get all the appliances shined up and free of fingerprints and grime, just because you never know what someone's going to touch or bump into. And let me tell you, these were just disgusting, and if anyone tried to open up my fridge, I would have been horrified based on the amount of just gunk that's stuck there. I don't know how to maintain it. I'm not doing a very good job, but now it's reset, and hopefully I can attempt to maintain that. I just have, little fingers that touch it 800 times a day. And the same thing goes for my cabinet. So you saw me wiping down my uppers earlier, and those, of course, were not that bad because my husband and I are really the only ones who touch those. But the lower cabinets, my gosh, it was horrendous, especially our trash can cabinet. I do a close-up on that cabinet. It just had stuff all over it. So it feels so nice to have those clean just in general, but knowing people are coming over and they might open a drawer or open the cabinet, obviously, where the trash can is, it just is such a good feeling. I decided to take the time and put away the dishes that I hand washed tonight as opposed to the next morning, just because I didn't want anything extra or anything that I could do the night before left over for the morning of. If you're still here watching this video, you mean more to me than you know. So go ahead and comment down a holiday emoji so I know that you watched this entire video, and it would just mean the world to me if I knew who made it this long. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'd love to have you subscribe. I put out videos every single week, every Sunday. I try and get one out for you all, and I hope that you had some motivation and got some things done with me, or took some time to fill your cup and just hang out with me as well. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I will see you back next Sunday. Bye.